be feeding you information. You could be filling in on the show live, coordinating, while I am on the ground.
Well, yeah. Either way, sounds like a good deal.
You there on the air, and me there on the ground feeding you?
Feeding me, yeah.
Folks, that is guys, go to YouTube and type in Dr. Strangelove Mandrake feeds machine gun. We have all this behind the scenes. Like Star Wars is cheesy, but it's fun to connect things to that. But we also do it to Dr. Strangelove, Stanley Kubrick's film. And you've got Mandrake, who's the captain from England, assigned to the Strategic Air Command. And you've got General Jack T. Ripper, who's completely crazy, launching a nuclear war under Plan R. And the Army's coming to try to stop them to get the recall codes before they bomb Russia and trigger the doomsday device. And they're shooting machine guns into the windows, and he's going, "Hurry up, Mandrake, the redcoats are coming. Get over here with that belt, boy, and feed me that." And then later he's trying to get Jack the Ripper to General Ripper to give him the codes. He's going, "Jack, come on, bold boy. You know I'm your friend. You there with the gun, me there on the floor with the belt, feeding you, Jack." And he's like, "I don't know how I'd stand up under torture, Mandrake." And he's like, "That's the idea. A little wash and a brush up always gets you in the mood to give me the old codes, Jackie. The old codes." I'm sorry. People haven't seen the movie. They don't understand. Anything else, Paul?
Yeah, just one more thing, talking about them possibly making it difficult for people to get in and cover it like they did with you in Canada in 2006. Spain has announced, or the European Union has given Spain the green light, that they're going to seal their border temporarily next week. They're going to dispense with the Schengen Agreement, which is the free movement of peoples between European countries. There's no border controls, specifically to keep out anti-EU protesters, because there's a big ECB summit in Barcelona where all these technocrats are going to get together and decide how to screw European people even further. And so the Spanish government has got the green light from the EU to completely revoke the Schengen Agreement for a period of 1 week. And so they're going to have tight border controls, and they say they're going to stop anti-EU protesters from getting into Spain.
Well, that's always
France.
been the plan. The border stuff here is to keep us in, not the people out. They want more slaves here in the system, and it's the same thing with the IRS saying that they want to pass this law where you can't travel if they say no judge, no jury. And by the way, this is going to be breaking. I talked to Jim Mars this morning, and sure enough, it's in the Dallas Observer. For $110, the book building, where Oswald supposedly shot through the tree and all that, along with the Keebler Elves and killed Kennedy, they are taking over for the 2 days of the anniversary, the 50th next year of the JFK being murdered, and no one is allowed in except the controlled media. Just like 9/11, they block half the city so you can't get in and protest. It's an inside job. Now, they're so worried everybody's going to come in at their media event. They're saying the public park of Dealey Plaza, in its entire 100-year history, has never been closed. It's closed to the public, and they're leasing it for $110. And, of course, there should be lawsuits now. If I can't lease it for $110, but you can't do that. Again, they're so scared of us. And so now, next year at the 50th, I'm going to be there and call for thousands to be there, and we're going to make it a media event. It's going to backfire on them. And even the local paper is saying it's wrong. I mean, it's pure authoritarianism, Paul.
Yeah, they want to keep people out, and it's like this EU thing. The EU grandstands as this 21st century liberal democracy with a free movement of peoples. Isn't it ironic that the only time they suspend that right is to keep anti-EU protesters out of the country? Again, underscoring their fundamentally authoritarian raison d'etre.
And let's be clear, that means people from Germany and France and other countries that are just trying to come to Spain, during the late spring, early summer, best time of the year to come. Oh, you just can't come in now. That's what it's all about. It's for us. Notice, Paul, they've announced the war on terror is over, but the TSA's going on the streets to search your bags without warrants, and they've just got it started. And they say the new threat is white, conservative, libertarian, veteran, Al-Qaeda.
Yeah, they're shifting the whole apparatus over to the host population of the countries. That's what the war on terror was always designed to be, and that's what's now happening with all these drones in America. You can go and see where they are now, and it's all being focused back onto the population.
Well, again, red linked at Infowars.com. Secret of Bilderberg Group set to meet in Virginia, May 31st, June 3rd. Maybe we'll dispatch from the UK as the UK correspondent, Stevie. I wonder if Steve Watson would like to come and have your phone ring and it's David Rockefeller at your hotel room. And obviously, we'll be checking in a few days early at the hotel, and so they can throw us out. I'm surprised. I guess they love that Chantilly. You know why they like it there? Because they have all Raytheon and all the big defense contractors circle it, and it's just total surveillance grid. And of course, this year when I get followed, you know, we start chasing the cars that are following us. We slam on our brakes, get behind them. The plainclothes State Department Marines start flipping us off. And they think they're intimidating us. Then they pull over. We get out. They run and lock themselves in bathrooms. That's what happens when you ask Peter Powers about 7/7 and the drill of the exact same targets, exact same times. What, 3 times on tape he goes and locks himself in the bathroom? I mean, these guys are following us. Ooh, you got shaved heads. Oh, we're so intimidated. And then they'll pull over and run into a taco shop in one case and lock themselves in the bathroom. I mean, you know, we're Americans, we're journalists, we're covering a bunch of crooks coming into our country, meeting in secret. Okay? So take some more vaccines, breathe some more DU. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying that's what we did in Switzerland. We started chasing them, and they just looked like petrified little rats. It's very different from holding it halfway up a mountain in a Swiss skiing resort, isn't it? Because the protesters were so close and they actually confronted them that now they're gonna have the security even tighter. But
and they had members of the state of the federal government of members of their parliament, their Congress, show up there. They had a torch procession and a lot of them left a day early. They see the villagers with torches, they left.
Oh yeah, they were flying in and out on helicopters paid for by taxpayers, completely illegal, and they were exposed in that as well. So that's only going to be intensified more so this year if it's in Washington.
Oh, I love it. These people are maggots. Paul, you've done an exemplary job. I really appreciate the work you're doing.
Thanks, Alex.
Take care, buddy. Oh, boy. Forget the maneuvers. Go straight at him. Let's go back to the caller. He dropped off. I wanted to hear his story, but that was breaking news with Paul. Big news, Infowars.com. Secret of Bilderberg Group set to meet in Virginia, May 31st, June 3rd. I'll make sure we send that over to Drudge. Globalist clique set to play role in U.S. presidential election. Yeah, the Washington Post admits it now. My goodness, that's not very, very loving. Let's go ahead and talk to Mike in Washington. Welcome, sir.
Alex.
Oh, my gosh, it's good to talk to you.
Me?
Oh, yes.
Oh, it is? Well, good. It's good to talk to you. I'm sitting here battling InfoWar. I have this syndrome I just got recently. Well, I've had it for about a year or two. It's called the Alex Jones syndrome, where I just every day want to battle globalists. So
you have done well, my apprentice. I'm sorry, go ahead.
The Cobra Commando.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, battling the Coney Trendies, and I just had a quick question about militias. You know, it's kind of strange that you said today that the war on terror ended just as I started talking to some militia people, because, you know, now I'm Al-Qaeda, even though they're good now. You know, Libya's awesome. But, well,
you know, Al-Qaeda's good now. The government says, you're bad. You're Al-Qaeda. And they've got all the TV ads. They go, the new Al-Qaeda, John Deere hat owns property. Attack, forward!
Yeah, I know. Well, so I talked to one of the guys, you know, and I just basically said, hey, I don't want to do anything illegal. I'm not going to do anything illegal. You're not going to force me to do anything illegal. You know, and I'm assuming he wasn't a Fed, but so I would just, I don't know if you have some general things to, I mean, I just...
Sure, stay there, Daniel-san. Dave, we'll be right back on the other side. Mr. Miyagi will continue transmission. All right, we'll be right back. Stay with us. Bilderberg, Chantilly, Virginia. All right, this segment, the next, we're going to take your calls, and Lew Rockwell's joining us for the balance of the next hour, interspersed with a lot of news. I will get into the Middle East, latest political developments, the economy, the incredible shrinking Bill of Rights and Constitution. But that secret of Bilderberg group set to meet in Virginia May 31st, June 3rd, breaking at Infowars.com right now. We broke that it was in Switzerland last year. And they're like, no, it isn't. It's in Spain, or it's in... We were right. We may be wrong. Probably not, because they've been to that particular conference place twice. By the way, it's got like weird paintings of children that look like they're dead, but it's real subtle. It's like children with like blue skin whose eyes have black circles around them. Weird, creepy paintings everywhere. And quite frankly, I'm going to check in at that hotel, but I'm not looking forward to it, because we check in a few days before to watch all the security people coming in and stuff, and they harass us and they try to frame us for stuff. But if you don't want to do something, you got to do it. There's such a thing as walking into a trap. Fortune favors the bold. And it's not that we do anything wrong, but I mean, I'll be at dinner and you know, feds will just come sit down and go, let's attack buildings. I'm like, come on, guys, what are you with, the State Department? We could attack the State Department. And then, that turns out who they are. And you're just like, no, you know that's not my MO. Are you guys planning to do that to us? Because that's the kind of stuff they do. I mean, kill 1 million little brown people in Iraq, set up some journalists. You're destroying America. You're doing a great job. But I intend to go up there and cover it, because we're on the march. The empire's on the run. It was Bilderberg in Switzerland that turned tail and left. And this is my country. You may still say it's yours, and you may squat on top D.C. like a giant, bloated, wart-covered pig sucking off of us, but we're going to call you out and expose you. And the whore media you own won't report on it? Fine, we've got the real media. We are the media, not you. And we're committed. Going back to Mike in Washington. Mike, you were asking me how you can tell if a militia's good or not?
I mean, I know buying, coffee with cash makes me the devil, and so does wearing blue jeans and having a prepaid cell phone, but the militia, I mean, I love the Constitution, I love God, I love my country. I know that hanging out with those dudes, as legal and great as it is, it sticks my head out a little bit, and I'm not worried about me. I'm ready to...
Well, here's the problem. It is constitutional. It's pure Americana, because it is so good. It is the most saturated area of feds. But, I mean, real militias are either totally private and are just mutual defense leagues, preparation leagues, or they're military history leagues, things like that. There are a lot of military reenactment groups that they use as a cover for it. And it's not that militias are dirty. They just choose to be underground. But the point is, even in private, you're just training with the Second Amendment as civil defense. So I think militia should just be locally organized. There should be an underground militia that's just prepared to defend the Republic. And then there should be an above ground that works with the sheriff. And you should get sheriffs elected that are patriots. And you should mainly be giving homeless people soup when there's floods, responding and acting as a posse. The posse is the militia. The militia is a general posse that's formed county by county to defend against invasion. Okay? And so it is America. So, of course, the globalists say it's evil. They say everything that's good is evil. And they've got a lot of sheep believing it. They believe mother's milk is poison, but, aspartame is good. They think DU is good for them, but, grass-fed beef is evil. They think good is bad and bad is good. And so, the main thing is, a lot of times the groups that are out there posing as militias online, quite a few of them are feds trolling for people they can set up. But I've been warning folks, they're not very successful.
You are listening to...
I see a meme out on the internet now that it's a fairy tale that there's